I'm Little Ed.
I'm Dr. John.
And another
Don't
episode.
you say installment, you asshole.
Another episode, season 2 of Enuff already.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to just talk about some stuff about media mainly and how much we hate it. It's going to be fun. Something tells me this whole episode is going
to be a rant. Everything's starting off kind of weird. I don't know. Dropping knowledge bombs on the mic while Dr. John keeps it. Don't forget, we're on Rumble. Follow us. We're on YouTube. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, share, tell your friends.
Tell your friends about us.
Even tell your Democratic friends.
We got to get it going because we dropped off a little bit because we had to take a break. But we're ready to go for season 2. All right, Ed.
All right, well,
I'm a little hoarse today.
Well, you probably sang a lot last night.
All that karaoke last night, huh?
Yeah, you did some Joe Cocker pretty good. You got that guy down pat. Anyway,
well, whatever.
We're just going to talk about the 92% negative coverage of President Trump from the
oh my God,
left-wing controlled socialist
media
media
is really showing its side.
Right. And even though they're trying to do what they're doing, they still can't hide the fact that the Democratic Party is imploding at a rapid rate.
The only real news about what's going on that you people got a chance of seeing is us.
Right. Or those like us.
or guys like us, because we're not going to lie to you. We're going to tell you what's really happening. There's shit that they won't tell you on the news media.
And if you're getting your information from Facebook, oh, man.
You can get it there, but then every time you see something, you got to go check it out, read about it, and go, oh, well, that's not really true. That's just a guy holding a toilet bowl up in front of a picture saying he's in an airplane.
Or he heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another friend that happened.
You've been messing around.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. Meanwhile, we've witnessed, Trump wasn't even sworn in a half an hour, and the Democrats were screaming about egg prices. So those have already started to come down quite rapidly.
Did you see they're going to try to impeach him? They're going to file articles of impeachment.
Did you see the guy trying to impeach him?
He looks like Jimmy Fallon with a wig on.
I heard,
where did this guy come from? He's kind of a...
I heard from a friend who heard from another friend that heard it from another friend that he's like really way in debt, and this is his way of trying to get out of debt. He thinks that the Socialist Party, the Democrat Party is going to give him a bunch of money for trying to impeach Donald Trump. It's got absolutely.
He's a very odd-looking fella.
Well, you wonder how these people even get elected.
I mean, he don't look like he got a brain cell in his head.
No. But it's all negative, and they don't like to talk about the border, even though they have to, and they try to put a negative spin on it. But within the first 10 days of Trump's presidency, he basically closed the border. We have nobody crossing that border now, and that's the way it should always be. But he's deporting the worst of the worst. He's getting rid of the rapists. He's getting the White House lawn is just full of posters right now of murderers, rapists, child molesters that we've kicked out of the country.
And I watched Chuck Schumer, and he's carrying on how Trump's approval rating is at all-time low. But yet Chuck's approval rating is like 17%.
And he got called out on it, too. A reporter asked him, and he's like, oh, polls come and go.
But I also saw him in one of his speeches, and his big thing he started out and we are going to get Trump.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, Chuck, but that's not your job. Your job is, and that's all you're worried about is getting Trump. Your job's not just to get Trump. Your job is to work for the American people and make things better for the country. Now, your agenda is just attack Trump. I don't get this. We're going to get Trump. We're going to get Trump. How does that work out to be beneficial for the American people?
It's not. These people hate America, John. They don't want America to be great again. They absolutely don't want it. They don't want, Trump's cut off all their money. So that's another reason why we're not seeing Black Lives Matter and Antifa tearing stuff up, because they're not getting paid anymore.
That statement alone just told me where his motivations were, where his alliances are. He'd give two shits less about the people.
Well, it's obvious he's not doing his job, John, because he's got a 17% approval rating.
Well,
to put it in perspective,
Here's how it goes, Ed.
Gaddafi had a approval rating of about 26%, and his people
That's
killed
what you
him.
look like, Chuck. You look like this, Chuck. We're going to attack Trump. We're going to get Trump. And I guarantee you, we're going to get Trump.
Check this out, John. There 60%,
Screw him.
60% of all judicial injunctions that's come against a president in the last 100 years,
Have been on
60%
Trump.
of them have been against Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
92% of those injunctions have come from radical Democratic appointed justices, mainly from Obama. And, it's just, they're just
Well, the people don't get it. They've loaded the
judicial system.
Judicial, I can't get that word out today. That judicial
Too much
system
karaoke.
up with these judges
Oh, yeah.
that
And
how they-
prosecutors
and prosecutors and judges, and they're against you. Now, you don't understand what's going to happen about that, because they think they control the country, which the
Right.
judges don't.
No.
But right now they're making a mess of things.
Well, they think they can control the executive branch, and it's just not going to work. They can get all the newsreels they want. They can get all the stupid reporters that they want to cry rivers everywhere. But it's not going to stop him. He's moving lightning fast. He's got probably hands down the greatest cabinet we've ever seen in our lives running the country.
Well, they're working.
Yeah, the most transparent too. You know exactly what's going on. There's websites you could literally go to.
And I got nothing against dudes in dresses, but there's not one dude in a dress in the cabinet.
No,
if you want to wear a dress and you're a dude, go do it. But
There's not one dude.
you don't need to be in a presidential cabinet.
There's not one dude on the women's swim team anymore either. You got rid of all that stuff, and thank God he did, because the same people that were wearing pussy hats a few years ago, screaming about women's rights, are now screaming that men can be women.
It's
just
like a privilege card now.
right. Oh yeah.
They're like privileged above us all because they're transgender or something. They're not no better than anybody else, and I'm not trying to make them any worse, but
Well, they're always trying to scream some kind of discrimination, whether it be because I'm a trans, or because I'm
you're a dude and you're wearing
minority.
a freaking dress, acting like a woman.
Right. Well, it's not even just that. It's the rich people too that are quite entitled. Like your George Soros, your Bill and Melinda Gates. These people, they've basically bought politicians. And,
Did you see what they're doing to John Fetterman, the Democrat from Pennsylvania?
Well, he's not allowed to think for himself, John.
I know, but all of a sudden he's got mental issues.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got
He's-
this. Oh,
he's
he's
dangerous.
not. He's dangerous. He shouldn't. We got to get rid of him. He needs to be this, and it's all because he agreed a little bit with Trump.
Right.
And all because he doesn't agree with their radical policies.
Yep.
And all because he says, I got to look at things and think about it and decide what's best for
Right.
the people. Which they thought he was going to be a numbskull. They just throw him in there,
Right.
and he would just
He-
blank stamp everything they
He
wanted.
was having some issues because the man had just suffered a pretty serious stroke, but he's recovered from that stroke. And
and they don't like it because he's.
listen, I had my doubts about Fetterman too.
I did too.
But and come on over, John. come on over to the good guys.
Well, he still
Obviously
goes
you
with
are a
some
good guy.
stuff, but he's actually saying, he made a statement. Well, he's the president, and we've got to look at what he's doing. And
Right.
if it's going to be good, we got to. And they're like, oh,
Right.
what do you mean? That's Trump. We hate Trump. We got to get Trump, and you're not following protocol.
And it's amazing, John, how many people are all of a sudden foreign experts about foreign policy. You know what I mean? Like Chinese tariffs and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
These people, they have no clue about any of it. Or Iran. Iran is what.
They had a clue, Ed. They were running a program.
Right. Well, I'm just wondering how long is it going to be before these guys
Everything has been
support China.
Everything has been a deception
Right.
in order to put the money and the control and the power all in certain people's hands. That's bullshit that they didn't know. They were doing it on purpose.
Right.
It's all, this whole thing for the last 50, 60, 100 years.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all been bullshit. It's all been done on purpose.
Yep.
And they've been robbing us blind.
Yep, and it basically started when the dollar started to be backed by petro instead of the gold standard.
Yeah.
That's when when all this started, and that's because you can't really manipulate gold too much, but you can sure manipulate oil.
But they're not economic experts.
No.
They're
Oh, hell no.
economic bullshitters.
They're TV junkies that watch the propaganda media to get them
Well,
to
they
think one
create
way
the
or the other.
propaganda and they make up the bullshit and then they teach it and make people believe it. It's all been a big scam.
At some point in time, our education system quit teaching
It's
children.
failed. Our education system has failed us.
They quit teaching children how to think for themselves.
Well, do you want to teach kids things? They'll come back and bite you in the ass, and the kids will say,
Right.
"Hey, that's not right. We're not going for that." They don't want kids. They don't want kids to know. So that when they grow up,
get that goddamn Constitution out of here.
they don't want to make you smart enough to realize you're getting screwed.
And then the Constitution's written in the cursive language, so guess what? We don't teach cursive language.
They won't even be able to read it.
Right, we don't teach cursive to kids anymore. Because God forbid they were able to read it.
Holy shit! What is it? I don't know. Can't read it.
You see it too. You know, you got these man on the street videos where the guy walks up and says, "What year was the independence of the United States?" And they'll be like, 1984.
I can't believe that's real. That them people are that stupid.
Or how many dimes are in a dollar?
That's got to be fake.
I mean, come on.
You can't be that stupid, can you?
No, they are that
I
stupid.
can't believe anybody's that dumb.
It's hard to believe that they would find that many people to go along with it, though. I mean, they're putting them on social media.
Hey, grab my methylene blue over there.
You gonna plug? John's gonna plug something.
I ain't gonna plug it. I'm just gonna drink it.
So where'd you get that at? Online?
Yes, you got to be careful because there's fakes out there.
Oh my
I
God!
was deathly
of course there
ill,
is.
thought I was dying, and I'm taking a bunch of supplements. But I started drinking this.
You just put it in water, huh? Methylene blue.
I put a little lemon juice in it because I don't care for the taste of it, and I like lemon. So I make a lemony blue.
I've been seeing
drink.
that all over though about methylene blue. I mean, you got half a dozen people plugging it and pushing it, and
Hodge twins are selling it.
right. Well, I've even seen RFK putting it in his drink. You know what I mean? So
I'm not advocating you do this. I'm just telling you this has done amazing things for me.
I'll have to look into it.
They should call me because I thought I was gonna die. I had so much shit wrong with me, and the doctors were leaving me from my deathbed, stretching me out, nobody doing nothing.
Right.
So Dr. John had a doctor himself.
Yeah. Well, you wrote your own prescription.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you, Ed. These doctors, everybody, you got to go see the doctor.
Right.
We spent months researching, studying everything that's wrong with me, comparing, taking notes, writing things down. What does a doctor do? What makes them any smarter than me? Just because they went to school?
Most of their stuff is studies that were done by other people. They just read it.
And that's what I did.
Right. So
I read all the studies. I read all the stuff. We took notes. We wrote things down. We compared. We analyzed, and we started developing a natural formula of whatever it could do to make me better. And I've made myself better.
I got to tell you too that a lot of doctors are, they're like a NASCAR driver. They got sponsors from pharmaceutical companies,
And I don't want their damn drugs.
right. And that they're there to push they're there to push certain drugs. And there's a certain
They get
medical
kickbacks from all these companies.
Right. There's a certain medical facility here locally that I don't give a shit if you go in there with an infected toenail, an ear infection, whatever, your arm hurts. You're going to get a steroid pack no matter what. You're going to get one of them Z-Pack. You're going to take 7 today, 6 tomorrow. For what? I mean, I just have an infected toe.
Well, they just want to, pump you full of something.
Right. Well, they get kickbacks. They get paid for that.
I've got 4 books in there this thick with all kinds of natural remedies. Teaches me about all the herbs. Teaches me about everything that grows on the earth. Teaches me how to make this stuff.
Yep.
And we're making some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But this stuff is freaking amazing.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
I'm telling you it is. In just a little bit.
Yeah, so the bottle will last you a minute then.
A little tiny bottle lasts forever.
I'll have to look into that. Well, John, you want to do a rant about
Yeah, let's do.
something?
About how they change everything that's good.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I get on my computer and I got, what is it, you got Windows 10 or something?
Got an update?
It's working just freaking fine. All of a sudden it don't work. Why don't it work? Well, you got to update. Why do I got to update? Because it's working just fine. Well, you got to get this new update because it's going to be better.
Yeah.
And then they update it, and then all my shit don't work because they changed it.
Yeah, you got to relearn how to navigate it.
And I got to figure out how to do it again. Well, that's not an improvement.
And you know what sucks, John? The minute you learn how to do it again and
And
navigate,
you get used to it,
they do it again.
they
do
update
it
again and change it on you. You got to figure it all out again.
And eventually you're going to have to pay somebody to install stuff in your computer or your phone or what.
Every time they update my phone, they screw it up.
Crazy.
And it's working just fine.
I was talking about the apps that I have to use now for what I do for a living. It's just
Apps suck.
It's just like, dude, everything I do is on a computer. If I forget to push one button, and it's slower than hell.
Change the
It's
word from
updating
apps.
constantly.
They should call it freaking laziness.
Right.
That's what they should call it. You need the laziness.
I'm driving.
What's that? That's a little button on your phone so you don't have to do it. Laziness.
Right. I'm coming home and I get a message across my screen saying that the whole app is down.
Heaven forbid we'd have to fill out a piece of paper. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, see, that goes back to the educational
Use a
thing.
pencil.
People don't know how to write anymore. They just have to check boxes.
You know what else pisses me off? Boots.
Boots, yeah, shoes in general.
Because I work construction. Every time I find a pair of work boots I really like, I go, damn, I really like these. I'm going to buy some more. And I go to buy them, and they go, oh, we don't make those anymore. We make these ones. I go, that ones suck. Well, why do you quit making the old ones? Well, we don't know. They discontinued those. And I'm going, them were really great boots. And every time I get something that works really great and I really like, it goes away. And they give me something that's inferior that sucks. And
right.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
Or the sizes have changed. Now suddenly I'm wearing a 9.
Well, that's going to change when they start making more stuff in this country because Chinese people have no idea on sizes.
They're on the metric system.
They don't have idea on sizes. We try to buy Halloween costumes, and if I buy a jacket, I got to buy like a 6 freaking X. So I have the right size coat costume because if I just buy like a double X or 3X, I look like 50 pounds of taters in a 10-pound sack.
Anyway, quit updating our shit. We're tired of it.
Yeah, stop with the updates. Stop with the changes. It works great.
They invented the wheel a long time ago, and they've never really improved it. It's still round. It still rolls.
Here's the deal, Ed. See, they got a bunch of people sitting in offices, or maybe not in offices anymore, but a bunch of people sitting in front of these things.
Right.
And their job is to invent stuff and make stuff better. Well, all the good shit's already taken.
Right.
Ooh.
Their job is to mess with us.
So what do? They just start changing things at random because if they don't do some changing, they're going to lose their job.
Right. I agree.
So, in fact, we really don't need these people because all they're doing is screwing shit up.
Yeah, and there's no end in sight. No end in sight. But anyway, that's enough of that.
Enough already.
Enough already. We can move on to kind of a lame rant,
like
but we're just sick of that stuff. Oh, I love them. I've always, since the beginning, since the very first time you broke out the sound effects, we even have a studio audience, don't we?
It's just Chuck Schumer. FBI be here tomorrow. You threatening to do that? It's a sound effect.
Right. Oh no, you can't do anything like that toward the left, or they'll come down on you. But meanwhile, you got Facebook posts every day calling for bad things to happen to Republicans. Well, dude, what about Mark Rubio? That guy has really come forward as somebody.
He's surprising me.
Me too. I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, he's got a lot more balls than I thought he had.
That's what I thought. I didn't think he had any dander on him. He'd be able to do.
And he don't give a shit. This is the way we're going to do it, and if you don't like it, too bad. I love it, And that's basically all of Trump's cabinet. You don't see a lot of them caving in. And Caroline Leavitt is
boy, she puts it on them sometimes, don't she?
She's absolutely amazing, and
so much better than old Black Raggedy Ann.
I've almost forgot about that cross-dressing thing. So, all she ever did was stand up there, and I'm going to have to refer your question to some other dumbass that has no clue.
She just flat-ass lied.
Oh, right. They all did. I mean, they all said that Biden was as sharp as a tack. And he was never, even from the beginning, even
but a tack's only like this long.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say he was about I don't want to say anything bad about dead people. Oh, he's still alive. Well, I'm not sure if he knows.
I am not sure if that's even Biden anymore.
Right. It looks like a mask sometimes.
Could be a clone.
Could be, but they should be held accountable for it, and they probably won't, but it'd be nice. We're starting to see some movement in that, where they're starting to go after some radical judges.
We're getting some people arrested finally,
right? And we talked about this before. I think they're just hitting the low-hanging fruit right now, and I think what we're really going to see it pick up is after the midterms, as long as the Congress holds and the Senate holds.
You know they're going to try and rig that election.
Oh yeah, well
big time.
They already rigged the election in Wisconsin. I spent 2 months driving around Wisconsin, and I seen so many signs, yard signs for the conservative Republican guy, and somehow the socialist Democratic woman won it.
Yeah,
Barely,
right.
just barely won it.
Yeah.
But, and I even said, man, I probably seen 10, 15 signs for the one compared to the other. So when I found out that she actually won that, it was like, really? Well, now you're hearing about Tulsi Gabbard, who's come out with information saying that they've been stealing elections for a long time.
Oh, you know they have. How do you think Schumer, Pelosi, all them knuckleheads stay in there? They rigged those votes.
All these people have been. Look at Dianne Feinstein.
McConnell, he's been rigging his own election. Feinstein.
These people have all been connected to Chinese spies at one point in time or another. Salwell was banging Fing Fing. What kind of pillow talk were they having? Dianne Feinstein, her chauffeur was a Chinese spy. You know what I mean?
Look what we got in office, people.
Actually,
we need to clean it up.
Right. Well, we got one man that's trying to do it, and the media is doing everything in their power.
It's ridiculous that the news media does.
And even though that they try to do it, they end up sticking their own foot in their mouth. For example, CNN the other day was talking about the border crisis. Well, the one guy's like, well, there really is not a border crisis anymore. Okay, Trump pretty much took care of that the first 10 days. They were talking about his 100 days in office, and they don't want to admit that he's gotten any accomplishments.
Did you see him whack that ABC guy?
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
That guy asking him questions, Trump just shoving it up.
Because his talking about the MS-13 photoshopped. Trump's like, Terry,
yeah,
I can show you the picture.
Yeah, that's a show. It's printed on his hand. He's got it tattooed on his hand. That guy, Trump ate him up.
And then you got your typical dipshit response. Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree. No, Terry.
Yeah, I don't even know who you are. I picked you because I didn't know who you were.
Right. Frankly, I never heard of you. You're getting a chance of a lifetime.
He put it on him. That was good.
The whole interview. As soon as the guy come out to be an asshole, you're not gonna up Trump. I'm telling you right now. The man is very smart. He's very quick on his feet. He's very quick with his replies, and he knows what he's talking about. So this guy thought he was going to get these gotcha things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was the one that got because Trump made him look like a total dipshit. And he is a total dipshit.
That's pretty much any of the Democrats, if they get involved with a conversation, anybody's got half a brain cell.
Right.
And they start slinging their shit. Everybody's like, really?
Now to the point where you're uneducated because you didn't go to college. Well, education doesn't really make you smart. I know
makes you educated in something, but
I know
doesn't
so
make
many
you intelligent.
Smart and dumb people. It's ridiculous.
I've seen a lot of dumbass educated people.
Oh, absolutely.
Couldn't tie their shoes.
You know what I found out too, John? Most of these guys in the mainstream media, a lot of them never even went to journalism school. You know what I mean? They've got degrees like in visual arts and stuff of that nature.
That's because they know people.
No, they're actors.
Yeah,
they're not even journalists. They're just simply like, I think the only accredited journalist that went to a journalism school on CNN, I think, is Wolf Blitzer. I think the rest of them are just like arts majors or shit like that. They're not even Rachel Madcow. She's not even
a woman's not even a journalist.
Well, she's not even a woman.
She's a propaganda spreading bullshit artist.
Well, and she talks out of both sides of her mouth. But still, she's got a couple 100,000 people to watch her.
Well, and I wouldn't want to be running people because they're all stressed out weirdos.
Right. Oh yeah.
If they're going to believe anything she says, they're on their last edge of their life. Oh my God.
But they know that too. And if you look at these so-called news channels like MSNBC and CNN and stuff like that, they're starting to come back toward more. They're having a lot more conservative views on there because their viewership is that of like reruns of Happy Days.
Well, they went off the deep end.
Right. So they're trying to bring back some viewership, but you have other outlets like Newsmax who's grown exponentially over the last couple of years. They went.
Did you see Nancy Pelosi last conference?
No.
Why did he say that? I'm going, holy moly, can this woman be any drunker and be in front of a microphone?
A little too much vodka. Before
she didn't make no sense, and she's talking. I'm going, oh my God, Nancy, you need to shut up because you're burying yourself.
One of her aides have come out lately and said that she would drink vodka before she did any kind of public speaking.
Oh my God,
it calmed her down.
Well.
Kamala Harris.
Try some Xanax, Nancy. I think it'd be better for you.
And Kamala Harris is drunk every time she's gotten in front of a microphone. I mean, she's
drunk too.
She looks drunk. Thank you. Shut the fuck up.
And I looked at the tree, and the leaves were on it, and it made me feel so wonderful that the wind blew through them, and I knew I was somewhere where I could be, and that's why I wanted to be, because if I'm being something, then I can be.
They're saying that she's on course to be the next governor of California.
Well, that'd be good for them people.
Then you hear, she's going to run for president again.
How could you get any worse than Gavin Newsom?
That sounds like a challenge, John.
I'm just saying, how could you beat Gavin Newsom?
That place is just full of weirdos. That whole entire state's full of weirdos.
I'd like to sit him down here between us and talk to him,
Gavin?
What a show that would be.
He would think he was so high above us, dude, because we're just a couple of backwoods boys, know. I mean, he thinks he'd come in here.
Caught an elbow in the ribs when he said something I didn't like, and he'd be changing his tune.
He'd try to baffle us with his bullshit like he does all them dipshits that support him, but
See what Tyrus did to
oh my God,
Jasmine Crockett, awesome. And see what he did to Bill Maher.
Well,
Tyrus, we love you. You are talking the truth, and you ain't afraid to open your mouth and just say it.
Bill actually went to the White House with Kid Rock for dinner.
I know,
and he came on a show and had nothing but good things to say about Trump.
What kind of good?
Well, he said he wasn't going to lie. That the guy. My favorite part was that he gave him a list of things he had said about him, and Trump signed it
for him and laughed. And laughed about
That's awesome. That piece of paper is probably worth millions of dollars now.
Could be.
But it's still, for Bill Maher to do that, it takes balls to he's going to be the next one that's unhinged and,
No, he still hates Trump.
Well, Fetterman's not necessarily a Trump supporter, but...
I'm talking Bill Maher.
Well, he still hates Trump, but he doesn't hate him like he used to. We'll put it that way.
Well, anything else you want to say?
I don't know.
To the good people out there that watch us?
All 7 of them?
Well, there's only like 3 of them left.
Damn.
They better time.
Ed and Dr. John, gmail.com.
Melvin, what's going on?
Yeah, Melvin.
Jason, what's going on? I want to see if you guys watch and know because I'm calling you out.
Melvin, I bet, is watching.
Melvin's cool.
Probably laughing his ass off.
All right, well, I'm Dr. John. I
am Little Ed. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.
Maybe we'll talk about something besides politics. We'll find something more fucked up we could talk about. I'm sure there's plenty that we can.
I knew it would work. Had a double shot at DJ this weekend, so I'm tired. Remember, follow us on Rumble, subscribe on YouTube, like us, share us, tell your friends, help us out.
Clean blue.
I should start selling this stuff.
We got 7 people that buy it. Until next time.
Good night.